Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano, as we take a look today at Week 3, the week beginning April 25th, at some pitchers, starters, and relievers who could be available on the waiver wire for your fantasy baseball league. Folks, don't forget to win big in 2022 with rotoballer.com's MLB and DFS Premium Pass, which includes 15 exclusive lineup tools, daily DFS cheat sheets, and our new Team Sync platform. Use RotoBaller's exclusive hitter projections, pitching planners, DFS value plays, research stations, lineup optimizer, and more to help you win big. For a limited time, get your MLB Premium Pass for an extra 10% off using discount code ACES. Visit rotoballer.com, sign up today, and start rotoballing like a boss. All right, everybody, happy you can join me here today as you get ready to set your waiver wire for Week 3. Look at some pitchers available on your waiver wire for this upcoming week. Guys, just a reminder, I use yahoo.com roster percentages as my sounding point. Try to keep it about or below 40% rostership for player availability. And we'll take a look at some pitchers here. Hopefully you already checked out the hitter waiver wire video for Week 3 as well. Don't forget, give me a follow at Aniano Fantasy when all of this is said and done. And make sure you like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel. And don't forget, download the new RotoBaller app, which just brings you great content for whatever sport you are looking for. All right, some pitchers to take a look at now. We're starting to see a little bit more of a sample size, 2 to 3 starts. And there are some things I like. I have 4 starters and 2 relievers to mention to you today. And my first one is Dylan Bundy of the Minnesota Twins, currently ranked as the 92nd overall player on yahoo.com. He's only 25% rostered at the time of this recording, which is Friday, April 22nd. That's when I am recording this. Through a first couple of starts in the season, 10 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, just under 7 Ks per 9. But he's not giving up home runs, and he's been unable to. People have been unable to hit him. His ERA on the season in those 10 1/3 is 0.87. His WHIP is 0.68. He's only allowed 6 hits in 10 1/3 innings. His batting average against is a minuscule 158. Now, 2021 was a terrible season. 2020 for the Angels, don't forget, he pitched to a 3.29 ERA and a 2.08 batting average against. Dylan Bundy has continually flashed what we thought was a ton of potential. He's shown it here and there, but when he's been bad, he's been bad. When he's been good, he's been good. Right now, Dylan Bundy for the Minnesota Twins is excellent, arguably pitching the best baseball of his career, although in limited innings. I have him in the TGFBI. I've had him on my bench. I now put him in my starting lineup. Starting Week 3, okay? He does have a start. Now, I got to say this. I'm recording this Friday night, the 22nd. He has a start Saturday, the 23rd. If he pitches well, you're going to end up paying a little bit more fab for him than maybe you thought. If he struggles on the 23rd, on Saturday's start, maybe you back off him. Totally understandable. I won't totally run away from him if he struggles on the 23rd. Kind of lowers the auction value of him, the fab value of him. So maybe I get Dylan Bundy for a little bit less if he struggles a bit in that Saturday start. And then obviously he'd be pitching towards the end of the week for this upcoming Week 3. Second pitcher I got to mention, it's the second time I'm mentioning him. We're missing the boat on Josiah Gray of the Washington Nationals. 38% rostered. Probably the last week I'll be able to mention him. He's been outstanding his last 2 starts. He's got 3 starts total on the season. Currently ranked on Yahoo as 108th overall player. 14 1/3 innings. His last 2 starts, he's given you at least 5. 18 strikeouts in 14 1/3. That's a little over 11 Ks per 9 innings. ERA is now down at 3.14. The WHIP is at 1.33. He's allowed 12 hits in those 14 1/3 innings. Batting average against is at 240. Remember, in his first start, the Mets beat him up a little bit. His last 2 starts have been much, much better. Okay, I am using him in leagues. Forget about like Dylan Bundy, where I've had him on the bench. He's in my lineups in a couple of different formats, and he's kind of stayed there now as he's giving me 5 solid innings each of the last 2 starts. Next start, slated for, last I saw, April 24th against the Giants. A little bit of a tough matchup, but I'm not running away from Josiah Gray. I'll have him in my lineup. Miles Mikolas of the St. Louis Cardinals. We remember him back in 2018. He pitched to a 2.83 ERA, even though he couldn't strike anybody out, it seemed. Injuries have slowed him the last couple of seasons. Well, he's back on the radar for the St. Louis Cardinals, yet he's only 35% rostered, even though on Yahoo, he's a top 150 player, currently at number 149. 15 and a third innings so far this season, and 13 strikeouts. 7.63 Ks per 9. For some pitchers, that's low. For Mikolas, that's through the roof. More strikeouts than you could have expected out of him. His ERA, though, 1.76. His WHIP, 1.04. 13 hits in those 15 and a third innings gives you a batting average against of 224. He has been terrific. He's keeping ERA low, WHIP low. Okay, keeping those ratios down. Cardinals a pretty good team. Pick up maybe a win or two. Not going to give you a ton of Ks, but 13 and 15 and a third, just enough to keep them interesting. Next start slated for April 25th against the Mets offense. That's pretty good. Okay, but Mikolas is worth a flyer there if you need a starter starting this week on the 25th. And finally, my final starter, my fourth and final starter, young pitcher with upside, Mitch Keller. In the RotoBaller chat rooms, he gets a lot of talk because the upside of Mitch Keller has not been seen yet, but it's so tempting, so tantalizing that people want to believe it's finally here. He's only 4% rostered. You could get him for next to nothing if you're in a fab type of a league. 13 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts. That's what we like. It's 10.38 Ks per 9 innings. Now, his other numbers look bad. His ERA is 6.23. His WHIP is 1.69. His batting average against is 304. Guy's throwing batting practice up there. So you're saying, Anthony, why are you mentioning him? He's given up 17 hits in 13 innings pitched, and his next start is April 26th against the Milwaukee Brewers. Because I'm mentioning him, because Mitch Keller has had that potential we've all dreamt of in recent years. This was the first time he didn't get drafted. Every other year he was drafted in leagues. He's only 4% rostered. Now, his first 2 starts were terrible. But on April 20th against the Brewers, the same Brewers he'll be facing on April 26th, he spun his best start in years possibly. 5 and a third, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Just enough to make people notice. At 4% rostered, he's going to be a freebie this week off the waiver wire if you need another starter. If he could back-to-back this against Milwaukee, more and more people will take notice. I'm not dropping anybody big. If I have somebody who went on an IR spot, okay, and I have a roster spot, and I'm putting in 4 or 5 claims, okay, Mitch Keller's my 5th claim. Okay, if I don't get my other guys, Keller's there, I get him, and then I could decide if I want to roll him against the Brewers on the 26th. All right, if you're looking for some relief help, if you're chasing saves, okay, Jorge Lopez of the Baltimore Orioles, 12% rostered, but he's ranked at 128 on Yahoo at this point in the season. Now, last season he was basically a starter. He pitched to an ERA over 6. He's now moved to the bullpen, okay, and he's picked up 2 saves. Now, it's Baltimore. You're not going to get a lot of saves out of him, but his ability as a pitcher is playing out much better in the bullpen than it ever did as a starting pitcher. In 7 innings out of the bullpen this year, 9 strikeouts, about 11.57 Ks per 9. ERA is at 2.57, where it was over 6 last year as a starting pitcher. WHIP is at 1.14. He's only allowed 4 hits in 7 innings pitched. It's a 167 batting average against. And again, the saves are going to be, not consistent. You're not getting saves like you are from somebody from the Dodgers or the Mets or some of the top teams in the league. It is the closer for the Orioles. But nonetheless, he does have 2 saves, and he's only 12% rostered on Yahoo. If you're trying to piecemeal the saves together, that you kind of like stolen bases. You don't need to win saves, but you just want to hang in the pack. Jorge Lopez, one pitcher who can do that. And the same goes for Josh Stoutmount of the Kansas City Royals. 31% rostered. 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. Okay, that's 12 Ks per 9. ERA on the season is 3. WHIP is 1.17. He's allowed 4 hits in 6 innings pitched. It's a batting average against of only 182. Okay, so both of these pitchers right now, Lopez and Stalmount, are keeping ratios low and giving you a few saves here and there. Okay, the Kansas City guy, Stoutmount, has 2 saves on the season. He's sharing the closer role with Scott Barlow. So, one game last week, at the end of last week, Barlow pitched the 8th, Stoutmount pitched the 9th and got the save, and then they flip-flopped the next night, and Barlow got the save. So that's what you're going to have to deal with. It's not a slam-dunk closer, but maybe that's how you chose to handle the closer situation, was not invest in the Liam Hendricks and the Josh Haders, but to piecemeal it. And if you are piecemealing it, here are 2 players, Lopez at 12%, Stoutmount at 31%, who are available on the waiver wire. Again, the pitchers, the starters, Dylan Bundy, Josiah Gray, Miles Mikolas, Mitch Keller. The closers, Lopez and Stoutmount, available on the waiver wire. Guys, don't forget, if you didn't check it out, make sure you check out the waiver wire hitter video for week 3, the week beginning April 25th. Like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel, and head over to rotoballer.com. Sign up for that MLB Premium Pass. Use the promo code ACES. Save yourself an additional 10% as well. Give me a follow on Twitter at @Aniano Fantasy. Be smart, be safe, and we'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.